how could he be somewhere and not feel me and not want to get in touch with me and meet my children?
We are releasing a clay facial reconstruction in the hope of identifying human remains that were recovered in Algonquin Park.
The remains were found before I was even born, so the fact that I'm involved feels a little surreal.
Every member of the public could be participating by just simply exploring what your genetic history is.
It's spring, and the year is 1980. Algonquin Provincial Park, 3 hours north of Toronto, is known for its rugged beauty and vast, unspoiled wilderness. On a warm afternoon in April, a lone hiker set out along the Hardwood Lookout Trail. It was supposed to be an easy day hike, with sweeping views over the valley. But along the way, the hiker chose to leave the marked path. It was off-trail that they stumbled upon something they never expected to find.
A human skull that resulted in a police investigation, extensive ground search conducted over multiple days, in which camping gear was found, sleeping bag, clothing neatly piled beside a tree, and lots of bones that had been scattered.
With DNA forensic identification not to be developed until 1984, and computers unable to scour missing persons databases, the Ontario Provincial Police turned to a more conventional approach. Officers used radio broadcasts to seek the public's help in identifying this unknown man, who was believed to have died approximately 2 years before his remains were found.
Nobody was identified. The file remained opened, but the leads went cold.
The years passed, and in the spring of 1995, a family hiking in the same area stumbled upon yet another grim discovery.
They found a jawbone. Initially, they thought it might have been an animal bone, but one of the members in that party was familiar with dental work and quickly realized that it was human.
This discovery triggered a second ground search, along with renewed public appeals. Yet no one stepped forward to identify the man. The case stayed open, but the trail had gone cold once more. Then in the summer of 2017, the OPP held a press conference in a renewed effort to draw attention to the case, unveiling a detailed forensic bust of the unidentified male, hoping it might finally spark recognition. While numerous tips came in, none unfortunately led investigators to any concrete leads, and the case remained open.
Recently, the OPP submitted some DNA from this case to DNA Doe to conduct investigative genetic genealogy searches.
The process starts with DNA extracted from the remains. That DNA is used to build a detailed genetic profile, which is then uploaded to participating public genealogy databases, which allows the subscribers to opt in or out of law enforcement queries. From there, the search begins, not for the person themselves, but for their relatives. Even distant matches like third or fourth cousins can provide crucial clues. Using these connections, genealogists build out family trees.
That identified the siblings, Mary and Ruth. Detective Holmes reached out to them, and we worked to determine if we could confirm the identity, including obtaining DNA samples from them. And that was all done through consent with the Ontario Forensic Pathology Service. And Dr. Kathy Grespier, the forensic anthropologist who has been a part of this case since the beginning, was the one who ultimately was able to confirm the identity as Eric Singer and, in fact, their brother.
Known as Ricky to family and friends, Eric Singer was a gifted musician from Cleveland, Ohio. He embraced a bohemian lifestyle, traveling through Europe, Israel, and ultimately Canada. And in 1973, Eric Ricky Singer vanished without a trace. Now, after 52 years of unanswered questions, his sisters, Ruth and Mary, traveled to Algonquin Provincial Park, one coming from as far away as New Mexico, to retrace Ricky's final steps.
My mom asked if we could have a funeral and just find closure to this whole thing. I said, no, not until we know that he's actually not alive. We don't know that.
I felt betrayed because we had things in common, and it was like, okay, we're going to grow up. We're going to have that brother-sister relationship. And when he didn't come back, this sounds terrible, finding out that he had been dead for most of the 50 years or however long it is, gave me comfort in that he wasn't a mean person living somewhere with another family, not wanting to re-engage with his little sister. To me, that was the devastating thing. How could he be somewhere and not feel me and not want to get in touch with me and meet my children? And when we found out about this, that kind of just didn't matter. That was a way of dealing with not knowing anything.
Eric Singer was found before I was even born. So the fact that, I'm involved feels a little surreal.
One of the fascinating parts of my role as a major case manager with the criminal investigation branch is being able to witness moments like this.
As the afternoon sun pierced the thick canopy above, the sisters arrived at the scene. Detective Holmes carefully explained what had transpired, indicating the spot where Ricky's remains were recovered and the area where investigators believe he spent his final night in the wilderness.
I have these tingles going through my body from head to toe, and I sense that my mom, my dad, and my brother are all here.
Up until this time, I never felt sad because it'd been such a long time, and you get numb to it. And this cuts through. This cuts through.
I've now been a part of 5 investigations of this nature that investigative genetic genealogy has made this type of day possible.
I'm honored, I'm humbled, I'm grateful. So grateful. But my overriding emotion is happy.
I was nervous making that phone call to them, but it was very rewarding. One of the most rewarding files in my career. Mary and Ruth have been great to deal with. I am blessed to be here.
I'm grateful to stand here right now, and I hope that this gives somebody hope.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up. You just don't know what other people are capable of. And technology changes. He was eventually found, he was identified, and we were able to put him to rest and put ourselves to rest.